ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம் ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம் ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதி குணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே நம்ம ஜாமாதரம் நம்ம ஜாமாத்ரி யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததா யத்தாத்ம சத்தாதி ராமானுஜமுனிம் பஜே லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பான் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம் யோ நித்யமச்சுத பதாம்புஜ யுக்மருக்ம வியாமோகதஸ்ததிதராணி திருநாயமேனி அஸ்மத்குரோர் பகவதோஸ்த தேயிக சிந்தோஹோ ராமானுஜஸ்ய சரணோ சரணம் பிரபத்யே மாதா பிதா யோதே ஸ்தனயா பூதி சர்வம் யதேவ நியமேன மதன்மயானாம் ஆத்யஸ்ய ந குலபதேர் குலாபிராமம் ஸ்ரீமத் ததங்கிரிகடம் பிரணமாமி மூர்த்னா பூதம் சரஸ்ய பக்தாக்வய பட்டநாத ஸ்ரீ பக்திசார குலசேகர யோகி வாஹான் பக்தாங்கிரேண பரகால யதீந்திர மிஸ்ரான் ஸ்ரீமத் பராங்குஷமணி பிரணதோஸ்மி நித்யம். bOdhayantha parasparam is a program we've been doing for a long time. Now we are doing it in a different style. In the past, this bOdhayantha parasparam was done just among myself and one or two others. That is how we have done our past bOdhayantha parasparam programs. But now we have opened it up for a group where multiple Bhagavatas can participate. And in this particular approach, we are taking a particular topic and we are discussing about that topic. Everyone gets to share their view and share their experience or get their doubts or questions answered. So that is the way we are doing now. In the last session, we had the same topic discussed in Tamil. Now we are going to discuss the same topic in English because we have a different set of audience for English. So we are going to do that. First, let me explain what bOdhayantha parasparam is so that everyone gets a little bit of an idea about the initiative. bOdhayantha parasparam, the phrase is from Sri Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Sri Gita says Machittam Adgatah Pranaha bOdhayantha parasparam Katayanstischa Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. Those who are fully focused on me, those who constantly think about me, they discuss my activities, my greatness, and so on. And speakers as well as the listeners, both of them become joyful, blissful by doing that. That is what is explained by Krishna in this shlokam. So this bOdhayantha parasparam is sharing of thoughts and experiences relating to Bhagavad Vishayam, relating to Bhagavan, Alvars, Acharyas, and so on. So that is the purpose of this particular initiative. Now, today's topic is what are the hurdles we face in our kainkaryam and how we handle those. So that is the particular topic for today. Let me first give a small introduction for the topic, and then all the speakers can share their thoughts. The program is designed in such a way that each participant will speak for about 2 to 3 minutes. Within that 2 to 3 minutes, they have to express their thoughts on the particular topic, and if they if they are giving some suggestions or solution for the problem, they can do that, all of that within that 3 minutes time frame. Please ensure that you are not going over time, because everyone needs to get an opportunity. We are thinking about having 8 speakers in every session. That is the idea we have. In that, so if each speaker gets about 3 minutes, totally it will be around 25 minutes or so. We'll have the introduction for the topic, that will be about 5 to 10 minutes. And then finally, we'll have the concluding section where even other participants, other than the speakers, they can also ask questions and get clarifications. This is the design of this program. This is the way we are doing it. So let me first give an introduction on kainkaryam. So what is kainkaryam? Kainkaryam is the task or an activity performed by a kinkara for the pleasure of the one whom he desires to serve. So kinkara means servitor, servant. The activity of a servant or a servitor is kainkaryam. Now we are all kinkaras, servants of Bhagavan and Bhagavatas and Acharya. That is our position as a Jivatma. Our true position is to be a servitor, be a servant for Bhagavan, for those who are very devoted towards Bhagavan. And among those who are devoted, there will be an Acharya who guides us, who leads us to Bhagavan. So these are the persons who will be receiving our service, our servitude. The kainkaryam can be of multiple types. Usually we see Vachika, Manasika and Kayika kainkaryam. These are the 3 broad categories of kainkaryams. Vachika means kainkaryam through speech. We praise someone with our speech, with our words. We glorify someone. We may sing songs about someone. We may speak about someone. So these are all Vachika kainkaryam. Manasika kainkaryam is wishing someone for their well-being, being happy about someone doing well, and praying for someone's well-being. All of these will be Manasika kainkaryam. And finally, Kayika kainkaryam. Kayika kainkaryam means serving someone, physical help, doing physical service to someone. Now these Vachika, Manasika, Kayika kainkaryams can be towards Bhagavan, Bhagavatas or Acharyas. So Bhagavan, in the matter of Bhagavan, we can do Vachika kainkaryam by reciting stotrams, shlokams, pasurams. In the case of Bhagavatas, Alvars, Acharyas, the same thing. We can recite shlokams, we can recite their praises, we can highlight their greatness. All of these can be done through speech. Similarly, for our Acharya, that can also be done through our speech. Manasika kainkaryam towards Bhagavan, Bhagavatas, Acharya is done in the form of Mangalashasanam. We perform Mangalashasanam, that is, we pray for well-being. We wish for well-being of someone like Bhagavan. Like Periyalvar did Mangalashasanam, Pallandu, Pallandu, Pallayirattandu. Then we see Jaya, Namaha, Vali, Potri. All of these are words indicating Mangala Shasana. So when we have the thought of someone's well-being, seeking someone's well-being, that is Manasika Kaikarya. That can be done towards Bhagavan, Alvars, Acharyas, our Acharya, and so on. And finally, Kaika Kainkaryam. Kaika Kainkaryam is all the physical activities we do for Bhagavan, Bhagavatas, and Acharya. For example, we do Tiruvaradhanam at home, puja. That is Kaika Kainkaryam. We cook for Bhagavan, we cook for Bhagavatas. That is Kaika Kainkaryam. So all of these, we clean the place. We play musical instruments for the pleasure of Bhagavan, Bhagavatas. So all of these are Kaika Kainkaryams. So whether it is Manasika Kainkaryam, Vachika Kainkaryam, or Kaika Kainkaryam, the goal is to bring joy and pleasure to Bhagavan, Bhagavatas, and Acharya. So that goal should be clearly understood. It is not that we do Kainkaryam for our satisfaction. We have to see where our Kainkaryam is needed, and we have to do Kainkaryam there. And that will be guided by Shastram, Acharya, and so on. So this is a very broad outlook about Kainkaryam. Now we will start with the participants. So each participant can unmute themselves in sequence. Let me see, we had a sequence in our group based on the sequence of response. First was Ravi Venkatraman Swami. I think he said he is not joining because he's got some health issues. So we'll skip that. Then M.B. Rajagopalan Swami. Can you please unmute and speak? So, one small point. Please identify your thoughts. Each of the speakers, each of you can identify your thoughts on the particular topic. And if you highlight a particular problem or issue, you can also suggest a solution based on your experience and how you handled such situation. So that will be the sequence for the 3 minutes. And also, if there is anyone who is volunteered to speak but they did not come, then we'll give opportunity for others who are in the meeting today, and they can share their experience and their thoughts or their doubts or questions or whatever. So, Rajagopalan Swami, please start. Sorry for the interruption.
Adiyan Swami, Sri Srinivas Mahakurave Namaha. Adiyan Swami, Dhanyosmi for giving an opportunity amongst all the Adiyar Swami. First thing, I was not prepared to put my question in English, but Adiyan would try to do so because Adiyan is inclined towards Tamil. So, with respect to the topic, the hurdles that we undergo, that any Adiyar undergo during the Kainkaryam. So, Adiyan's Tirumamanar is doing Nitya Kainkaryam at Tirukanapuram Temple Swami at Tirumadapalli. So whenever Adiyan gets time out of my professional life, Adiyan would go there, do some Kainkaryam, engage in Tirumadapalli Kainkaryam or Prabandha Kainkaryam, whatever, as per the need and requirement, Adiyan engages there. So one thing which comes as an hurdle is, Swami, so let me quote 1-2 examples. So Bhagavan, he himself states that Sarvadharman Parityaksha Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Ham Tvasra Bhavipyo Mokshishami Masujaha. He himself is telling this thing, and followed by Alvar is also very strongly quoting that Ennayaki Kondu Yanake Tannai Tanta Karpagam is what he is telling. Followed by Embermanar is also stating that Tvameva Mata Chapida Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Gurus Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Tvameva Vidya Travinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamateva Dev. So all these are very particular about. So you don't want to focus on anything, just fall into the lotus feet of Emberman. So during these Kainkaryam Swami, Adiyan is working for 5 days in a week. Even during Kainkaryams, Adiyan receives call from office. Adiyan is forced to attend meeting. Adiyan had to attend some calls, which is non-negligible and unavoidable. So though those are sins which will displeasure Bhagavan, Adiyan is forced to do so. And there is no option to come out of this. This is because Adiyan is lagging Dedaviswasam, there is strong faith in Bhagavan, like letting go everything go. Though we have live examples like Kuratalvan or Swami Alavanthar, where they have let every other kingdom and whatever they own and getting engaged into kainkaryam. And we have many live examples in today's life. How to gain this Dedaviswasam, this strong faith, so as to engage 200% or 500% completely into this kainkaryam, Swami. Adiyan Dasa.
Adiyan. Very good, actually, very good point. And it's wonderful that you are able to engage in direct kainkaryam to Imperman in Divideshams, which is a very great opportunity for any Sri Vaishnava, because not many people get that opportunity. But you are making use of that opportunity, which is a very wonderful thing. Now, see, regarding this Dida Vishwasam, that is very strong faith towards Bhagavan, how to get that? That can come in a few ways. One is by constant engagement in kalakshepams, because the more we listen to kalakshepams, the more we understand the importance of being a true Sheshabhuta, which can only be understood from kalakshepams, where repeatedly in the granthams this will be emphasized. Every 10 pasarams, definitely we will hear that as a Sheshabhuta we have to serve Bhagavan only. So in many commentaries we'll repeatedly hear the same aspect, and how we should give less importance to all other things, how we should focus on Bhagavan. All of these will be emphasized. So the more we listen to that, the more we'll get confidence in that concept, and the more we will understand also. Because even though we are listening to kalakshepams, and even though we are listening to casual discussions where these are emphasized, after a little while, when we go out of that kalakshepam, when we go out of that satsangam, we will get overwhelmed with other activities and we will forget this. So we have to repeatedly hear the same message and again and again and again. That will bring us a little bit more familiarity with that subject, and more commitment in that. So that is an important aspect. So listening to kalakshepam is non-negotiable. Nobody can say that I don't have time, or I'm engaged in kainkaryam, I'm engaged in office work, whatever may be the case. Whatever may be one's profession, whatever may be one's activity, the kalakshepam should constantly be going on, because that is what is our real boost, energy boost. So that should be constantly happening on a daily basis. So we have to listen at least to half an hour, 1 hour. We have to set some time for that, set aside some time for that. And the Purvacharyas, Shri Suktis, their divine words, that will have an impact sooner or later. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is being with those who are engaged in such kainkaryams. See how they are doing kainkaryams without getting frustrated, without getting lonely and so on. Because in many places we'll see there will be only one kainkaryapara. Like in your own example, your father-in-law is probably just on his own there. Maybe 1 or 2 persons will come and go, but he is the one who is answerable, he is the one who is responsible. If the taligai is delayed, then somebody will come and scold him. And this is not a office job where we can say that 5 days a week, 8 hours per day, I cannot be reached after that. So we cannot say that in kainkaryam. We have to be 24/7, 360 days. It has to be done day in and day out. So it's not an easy task. So when we observe those who are doing kainkaryam in a dedicated manner on a daily basis, consistently, then we will catch some of that vibrations, and we'll see how it works in reality. Theory is different and practice is different. So we'll understand that practically there are people who are doing this, and we have to be inspired by such people by being with them closely. And that's where That's where you are going and helping your father-in-law, which is a good thing. So you can understand and it's not always easy also. Kainkaryam is not like sitting in an AC room and answering calls or doing a little bit of coding and all that. It's really um, on the ground. We have to face different kinds of people. Some people will be shouting, some people will be demanding, some people will be expecting some favors from us. We have to walk a tight rope. We cannot upset anyone. At the same time, we cannot compromise anything. So there is a lot of, if we have to do it perfectly. And there are people who will just compromise and go on and do things as it goes on. But if you want to do it as best as possible to the pleasure of Bhagavan and Acharya Salvars, then we will have to walk a very tight rope and ensure that we are firm at the same time. We are also gentle and we are also respecting others properly. So when we do that, Kainkaryam will happen in a better way and we'll have a better understanding and we will have a better outlook on that. So this is something which we have to try. So regular kalakshepams and regular engagement with satsangam. So that will help a little bit in developing the Dridha Vishwasam. And of course, slowly eliminating worldly attachments. That we have to work on. We have to consciously work on those. So that is, those are some insights which may be helpful for you.
Sure, Swami. Paramabhakya. That's it.
So regarding the question Selvanarayana Swami has asked, whether it is a question and answer session or a discussion session, actually it is a discussion session only. But in the last session, what Adiyan found out was in everyone's presentation of their thoughts, they usually have some questions, and instead of waiting for the end of the session to answer those questions, I started doing I started answering the questions right then and there as soon as every Bhagavata finished their presentation, so that if there are questions, it will be addressed then and there, so that it's easy for me also to remember and it's easy for others also to reflect upon the answers. So it's a mixed way of doing the session. It's not just a question and answer session. There is opportunity for everyone to present their ideas also. It's a way to share their thoughts. And if there is any input from my side required, I will also give that. Okay, so next one, Kannan Swami. Kannan Swami can unmute and please speak.
Adiyan Ramanujasan. Thank you, Swami, for giving us this platform and opportunity to speak about the our thoughts on what might be the obstacles when it comes to Kainkaryam. As Devari has already shared, it is a continuous process. We have to keep at it, and it cannot be like a switch turned on one day where we suddenly become a fully dedicated Kainkaryapara, and from that day our life changes. Adiyan has experience based on Adiyan's limited exposure to Kainkaryam. Adiyan would say very limited because that is the reality. It is not out of humility. Adiyan has been involved in certain places in some Kainkaryams, mainly under the tutelage of Sati Swami. So that is Adiyan's bhagyam to have the Sambandham of Swami. And sometimes going to some participating in some Goshti Kainkaryams at some temples. Especially Adiyan resides in Delhi NCR. So there is a Ramar temple here. So Adiyan sometimes gets the opportunity to be part of the Goshti there. What Adiyan has seen overall as obstacle is mostly our own outlook, where we prioritize everything else and say that Kainkaryam can wait, or our journey towards being a proper Sri Vaishnava can wait. Adiyan has always blamed the circumstances of our office, the fact that we have to take care of our family, our children, our parents. all of those are true, but we can also, learning from Swami's example itself, we can manage all of that and slowly and steadily descend into the mode of a proper kainkaryapara. What Adian has seen is sometimes it is our own apprehensions, it is our own distractions towards other worldly matters that impact us a lot. And Adian has been in this mode where I have blamed all the situations and said, why has Bhagavan not blessed us with a situation where we can be a proper Kainkaryapara? But over a period of time, Adian is realizing that all those who are involved in Kainkaryam, in Divyadesham, in doing Grantha Kalakshepam and all Acharya Purushas, it is not that they don't have situations which are difficult for them. It is how they prioritize the Kainkaryam to Emperuman. And we can only learn from them because sometimes we might have our own health foundations as well. But then for every example that we might quote of why we cannot do Kainkaryam, what is an obstacle to Kainkaryam, we just have to look at the uh, community of Sri Vaishnavas, our Acharyas, all the great Mahants who have lived in this samsaram and attained Paramapadam from their life stories and also from all the people who are existing right now in our own lifetime and doing great Kainkaryam to Emperuman. So Adiyan has seen this, that it is all our own attitude towards what we consider to be a situation as a foundation or an obstacle. If we look at others and see from their examples, we can definitely overcome that. Adiyan has not obviously been able to overcome that, but whenever Adian thinks about all the situations that prevent us from doing Kainkaryam, Adian looks at examples of people Adian has seen, uh, especially Sarthi Swami, who has come up in a manner where he is a fully dedicated Kainkaryapara and he has brought up our own entire community together through all his Kainkaryams. So that is what Adian believes, that the obstacles are in our mind only. Of course, there will be physical limitations, there might be commitments to family, but all of that slowly, Adian believes we can manage if we are committed and are just dedicatedly increasing our Kainkaryam output. As they say, when we look at work, they say you start as a fresher and slowly and steadily build up your skills. The same applies in the spiritual world as well, that you cannot switch on and become a ideal Shiva Vaishnava in one day. You have to work towards it. The only thing is, the other obstacle that Adiyan says is sometimes we get the pride that if we actually do some Kainkaryam, we are doing something great. And that is when we should listen to Alvar's Pasurams, where we say we do the Kainkaryam for the pleasure of Emperuman and not for our own, out of any other reason, because it is our essential nature. And that is why, as Swami has mentioned, deep study of Alvar's work and the Granthams that our Acharyas have written is very important before descending into Kainkaryam, because that will orient our attitude towards doing Kainkaryam as a Jivatma whose inherent nature is to do Kainkaryam to Emperuman. So with that, Adiyan would suggest that like Adiyan, others can also work towards improving their commitment to the Kainkaryam and not look at others as the other aspects as obstacles. Those are sometimes also there to help us toughen our commitment towards Kainkaryam. Those are Adiyan's thoughts. Swami, if Devrir can share whether that is how our attitude should be, or if there are some other things that we should take care of. Then yes, Swami.
Very nicely presented, actually. For those who may not know, actually, I will tell one thing about Kannan Swami. He had some serious health issues, and in spite of that, he would still do Kainkaryams in laptop, and even from hospital, he had done some Kainkaryams when he was on the bed due to some health issues. So definitely, yes. One thing which is very important is to understand and prioritize our commitment towards Bhagavan Bhagavatas, and other things can be given the back seat. I mean, we should not ignore, like even last session, I told this in Tamil. This time I will tell it in English. when it comes to other aspects, family is different from office and friends and relatives and all that. Family is one particular level and everything else is another. And then there is kainkaryam. So for bringing the family up into the kainkaryam, we can do a little bit of adjustments, spend a little extra time with family and convince them that doing kainkaryam is what is important for us. Because if we just ignore them, or if we just go away from them, then we may lose our next 30, 40 years of companionship in kainkaryam. But when it comes to office or friends or other aspects, we have to be very, very honest and very, very straightforward that they are given the least priority. Because if we lose a job, maybe sometime later we can find a job. If we lose a friend, sometime later we can find a friend. So when it comes to kainkaryam or office, we should have the heart to clearly say that for me, office is not that important. I will do whatever it takes. Like office or job is just a contract between us and the company. They are paying us money, we are doing us some work. If we are not here tomorrow, the company is going to find someone else. Nobody is irreplaceable. Everyone can be replaced. So they are not going to be emotionally attached with us. Maybe they do a little bit of support for us. Some companies may do a little bit of more support than other companies. But for them, we are just a number. We don't count as an individual or as an emotional entity or something like that. So we also have to treat office or work or job like that only. For us, they are paying money, so we have to do 8 hours or 7 hours or 9 hours, whatever we have committed for them. After that, we cannot have any emotional attachment. We cannot say work is worship. I want to impress this boss. I want to impress this company. I want to do great things for this company and bring this company to the peak. And this kind of attitude should not be there in Shri Vaishnavas. Actually, doing work for somebody for money and especially the profession which is contrary to our Varnashrama Dharma, that should not be taken up at all. But most of us are not in that situation where we can just do fully Varnashrama fitting profession. So we may have ended up in some companies doing some work. So in that case, we have to treat that company just as a contractor with us. We have done some job contract, job agreement. We have to fulfill their whatever their expectation, basic expectation. We cannot go overboard. So this kind of difference should be there between family and other entities. So when that difference is there, then we can have a better focus on the family and improving the family together in kainkaryam, instead of just us going forward in a very fast direction, fast pace, and they are all lagging behind, and then we'll get conflicts and we'll have unnecessary arguments and discussions, debates and all that. So to make everyone be in the same mindset in the family, we have to do a little bit of give and take, and sometimes we have to ignore some kainkaryam where our presence is not important. We are just going there for our happiness. Then we put that aside and we be with the family and encourage them and explain them, oh, I have stayed with you. We have to spend something, spend our time in something spiritual and so on, and encourage them and nurture them in sampradayam. But office or other friends, we cannot do such compromise. We have to be very, very strict. What is the worst case that can happen? They can fire us. If they fire us, we have to find another job. Based on our karma, anyway, we'll get whatever money or whatever wealth we have to get. So nobody can stop that. So if this job is not there, some other job will come our way based on our karma. So when we understand the whole life goes based on karma, then we will not be bothered about all of these jobs and career and growth and promotion and all that. So we just do decent, honest work for the company, and don't go overboard, and don't sweat it, and don't spoil the health for the company. And these things we need to certainly avoid. So this is what I thought about this particular aspect of prioritizing kainkaryam over other things. It is certainly something we have to do, and as you said, it is definitely in the mind. Most of the things we fear ourselves. Oh, if we don't be with the company, maybe they will fire us. But they may not have any intention. They may be thinking very high of us. Oh, this person, we have to retain him somehow. So maybe they have a different opinion on us rather than what we are thinking about their thoughts. So we need not be overly worried about these things, and rather focus on kainkaryam and see how best we can make use of the kainkaryam opportunities we get.
Thank you, Swami.
Okay, thank you. Next is Kasturi Rangan Swami. Can you unmute and speak?
Yeah, Adiyan Ramanujasan Swami.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Adiyan got very nice insight from Devri. Yeah. So and from even from Kannan Swami as well. So it has yeah. And thanks for giving Adiyan the opportunity to speak in this very platform. Yeah. Devri Thirudigalakku pallandu. So Adiyan has like one thought and one question as well. So the thought is like whenever like yearly we go to the temple of a close relative, there we kind of perform once. One day in the whole year, we like only perform so much for the Perumal Parpada, and we doesn't get any like opportunity or like to perform the kainkaryam apart from that day. Even it can be like Vachika or Kaikam, whatever, etc. Only that day Adiyan is able to do. So, and beyond that, Adiyan is now unable to like extend my kainkaryam there. And one is that like, is there like the boundaries for like extending our kainkaryam? And second is, as Devrin has already Devrin mentioned, right? This modern lifestyle has been like little bit interfering somewhere with our spiritual life. That too, it's like swallowing day by day, because as the needs are increasing, as like even though the needs are like basic facilities from food, fodder, and shelter, it's been to like internet, own house, something. It is going in some other direction now, from 3 to 100 like that. So how we can like avoid those? And another thing is like again wanted to know, like if we take a kainkaryam as a full time, right? We usually get typical kind of a comments or being mocked by, especially from people near us. So you, if you don't have any life, if you take kainkaryam as your life, your life will be like spoiled or something. So, because even though how much ever we take bravery to take kainkaryam, right? Somewhere it hinders our growth by, as words are like a dart actually. It makes somewhere, even though how much our mind may be strong by listening so many things, to spoil only little spark is enough. So, like how to overcome all these situations and like and take up the kainkaryams from.
See, you had two questions. First question is, we need money and some basic needs. For that, we have to do some work. So how to handle that? And then the second question is, if you take up kainkaryam, full-time kainkaryam, even our own close relatives or friends, even for some their own family members, they will mock us and insult us and so on. So these two questions, right? So the first question, definitely we need some money. Everyone needs money. Without money, nothing happens. Even this call we cannot make without money. For this also we need money. And we need more than what was required in the past. Nowadays, the cost of living has gone up. Everything is more expensive, especially if we get some medical issues, then a lot of expenses follow there. So we need money, certainly. There's no doubt about it. And for those who are like us, we had missed the time of learning Vedam or Divya Prabandham and Purohitam and so on. This Vaidika base, knowledge base. We lost that opportunity when we were young because our parents thought that it is better for us to learn, study worldly education, get worldly education. So we had gone too far in the path that it is difficult for us to come back and take up some Vaidika profession. So some of us can probably catch up quickly when we have the age. Let's say if you realize this in 20, 21, 25, when we were 25 years old even, some of us can learn quickly, more quickly than others. Maybe learn Divya Prabandham for 5-6 years, learn some Purohitam for 4-5 years, and then after 35 or so, we can change into a different profession, Vaidika profession. But that also may not be possible for some others. So there are those who are stuck with materialistic profession. That is the reality. Now, in that situation, what we can do is, at least within, we have to remember what I said before, that our work or office should not be considered as our life. We have to give only a certain amount of time for that, whatever fixed amount of time. But in that fixed amount of time, we have to maximize our intelligence and brilliance and do the work in the best way. And again, most of the people have the goal of earning money. Being in an office is not for charity, it is to earn money. So earn that money as quick as possible, as best as possible, in honest ways. Even in that materialistic employment, do honest jobs, earn money quickly, do your job well. If you are working 8 hours, you do it well. Don't waste the time doing Facebook or WhatsApp or chats, and rather do it properly, do the job well, and complete your tasks well. And naturally, you will get appreciated in the company or your business or whatever you do. And then you're going to earn some money out of that. So do it as quick as possible, as best as possible. Try to aim for early retirement. Let's say we are now 35, 40, or 25, 30, 40. Set up a particular target, 5 years, 10 years. I'll work and earn as much as possible, save some money. Don't spend for luxuries and unnecessary comforts. Try to live a simple, very basic, comfortable life and save money. And with that saved money, we can at least retire early. And then we can go for some kainkaryam. And whenever we go for some kainkaryam, naturally, in a lot of places, we will get some remuneration for that. Unless we clearly go and say that I don't want any money, most of the places, they will give some remuneration. Let's say you go to some Divya Prabandha Parayanam regularly, you will get some bhavane for that. If you go to some temple for some kainkaryam, let's say you go for a temple every day, 2-3 hours, you go and do some kainkaryam there. They may give some sambhavana. So if we don't ask, but they give, we can accept that sambhavana. Because again, we need money. If we need money, if we don't need, then we can say, you keep that for some other kainkaryam, it will be useful. But if we don't, if we need the money, then we can accept that sambhavana, whatever they give. We don't need to demand, but whatever they give, we can keep it and we can manage our livelihood with that. And we can manage with the savings also. So this is something to think about. How to plan our life. We don't do it in a reckless way. We don't do it in a casual way. We plan everything in a proper way. We spend time. Every minute of our life should be usefully spent. It should not be wasted. Whether it is doing office work or doing kainkaryam or learning. So when we are going to office also, we have to keep learning. Every day we have to spend some time, 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on our availability. We have to constantly learn and prepare ourselves for the transition. When we are ready to come into full-time kainkaryam, full-time service, at that time we should be ready with some skills, whether it is Divya Prabandha Parayanam, Veda Parayanam, or doing some Purohitam, or doing some Taligai. Even in temples, many temples, they need people to cook. So then there are people who are needed for making garlands, people who are needed for making sure that the garden is maintained properly. So different kainkaryams are there. Even in online, there are specialists in typing Sanskrit text, Tamil text, and many of the books are getting printed, so they will need constant help in that. So we can be using our skills, whatever skills we acquired during our work time. So that particular skill can be used in future for some small remuneration if it is required. So we have to think about it in a holistic way. We have to maximize the utilization of our time in the best way. Either we are learning or working. Even if you are studying, you study well. If you are working, you work well. If you are learning some Divya Prabandham, you learn it well. So our time should be very, very carefully and usefully spent. Every moment, every minute, we should not waste. The minute we waste, it will be hurting us in the future. If we waste 1 day, we will have to work 3 days in the future for that time lost. So we have to think about all of these and plan our early retirement or quick engagement in kainkaryam, depending on our situation. So we have to plan all of that and execute it. Sometimes we may fail in some of the aspects. We should not give up. We should improve and we should try again. Because failures do happen. We cannot lose our heart for that. We have to again keep trying, doing it better, and so on. So this is the suggestion for the first question. Second question about others mocking us. Alvar say, Peyere yanaki yavurum yanumor peyere pirarkum idu pesiyen. For others, I look like a ghost or a loose or a what do you say, crazy person. And for me, others are looking like crazy. Materialistic people look like crazy people for me. When I am spiritual, for others, they are all looking at me and laughing, thinking that I am crazy. So it doesn't matter what others think. If somebody, let's say somebody thinks bad about us, that we are wasting our life by engaging in kainkaryam, who is going to lose? We are not going to lose anything. It is their loss only. They are only going to think bad about us and they are accumulating papa karma for that. So they will reap the results for that. So if at all, we should only be concerned for them, caring for them. Don't do this mistake. We can say that. If they keep doing the same thing, if they keep mocking us and insulting us, we just move away from them. Why do you have to hug around everyone? If there is someone who respects us, they treat us properly for our Kainkaryams, then we hang around with them. If somebody insults us, why should we go with them? If we see them there, we should run away from them. If they are in a particular room, we should not even enter in that room. So that is how we have to stay away from this toxic people. They are neither they are engaging in Kainkaryam, nor they think good about those who are engaging in Kainkaryam. Such people are not worthy of our interaction. So we just stay away from them. And even if we happen to come face to face, and if they mock us, no need to answer to them, no need to explain to them, because anyway they have made up their minds that they are going to insult us. So why try hard to convince them and say, oh, I am doing the best thing? It's okay. Let them think whatever they want to think. So this mentality of being indifferent towards others, especially unfavorable people, it is very, very important for Sri Vaishnavas. We have to be indifferent. We should not be disturbed about every single thing. Lot of things happen in the world. Every day there is people getting killed. Lot of wars happen. Lot of financial turmoil happen. So many things happen. Can we be worried for every single thing? Can we be disturbed by every single thing? So we have to develop this indifferent attitude towards everything. It doesn't mean that we have to be cruel. We should not stop helping if somebody is in need in our nearby situation or in our neighborhood or anywhere. I'm not saying that we should be indifferent towards others' suffering. I'm saying that we should be indifferent about disturbances around the world, and we should not get disturbed about it. We should rather be able to just remain focused on our goal, our Kainkaryam, our activities, and so on. So no need to worry about others. We should not worry about everyone who is mocking us. Rather, we just ignore them.
Yeah, again the news is one.
Okay. Next, Swami Narayan Swami. You want to say anything? I don't think he is there. Okay. Next is Shrimati Ramya Madur. Adiyan, please unmute and speak.
Adiyan Srinivasadasan Swami.
Dear Lord.
Adiyan is soulfully prostrating to Devrir and all Adiyars here. Adiyan has about 4 to 5 points to share, Swami.
Very
Uh,
good.
One is Laukika Dharma versus Atma Dharma has always been a struggle for Adiyan for a very long time. How to balance Laukika activities and how it takes precedence over Atma Dharma. As a woman, also balancing family needs, sometimes social expectations, juggling multiple roles. But then the last 2 years, transformation has been happening from 2022. Swami Devri knows personally also. The journey towards, I think, learning Tiruvaimozhi, both from Devri's Kalakshepams and Gomatam Madhvacharya Swami's Upanyasams with the master's program. Swami has deeply, totally impacted Adiyan, where Alvar says, செயல் நன்றாக முயல்வாரே நல்லேன். Adiyan has been trying to draw some parallels, Swami. One was where Alvar talks about himself, that Alvar is not capable of doing all actions well, but Alvar is talking for us. Devrir also has explained that so well in Devri's Kalakshepam, Swami, that Adiyan was able to at least try to take that as Adiyan's intent and devotion matters a lot, much more than that worldly perfection. Adiyan used to work at a corporate. So Adiyan was trying to draw parallel all the time, that there I was able to spend, like Devri mentioned to other Adiyars, spend 15, 16 hours there But when it came to spiritual priorities, even 1 hour became like a Meru Malai, even to think of. But then when Adiyan started to realize that even 5 minutes of time, if Adiyan can spend towards Bhagavad Chintanam, that created a lot of impact. So every day, 5 minutes created a voluminous impact in 1 year's time frame. It started from our Pracharaka Tamil 1 session, Swami. Adiyan doesn't know any Tamil, did not know till 2022. But our Kuru and Kuram had made Adiyan to even take up writing in Tamil these days. So Adiyan is humbled by that effort. And secondly, physical fatigue and external kainkaryams for Adiyan's health, which is always fluctuating with energy levels. Adiyan did not realize that because Adiyan see Madhav Swami going out all the time. When he can go, why can't I go? Was a was a conflict in Adiyan's mind all the time. But Adiyan cannot rush and do anything fully. So by doing what Adiyan can, when I can, and with that full heart, that again came through Alvar's, how Alvar celebrates even darshan of Emperuman every day, Swami, in Tiruvaimozhi. Uh, that's something Adiyan was able to accept fully with the body signals with compassion. Adiyan was able to accept that only in the last 2 years. And then third is the most important is that mental distraction. I think other Adiyars also pointed out relevance versus capability. Swami, in 2022, when Adiyungal got the bhagyam to come back to our Bhumi, Adiyan had gotten without any, Adiyan was not deserving, but Adiyan was able to draw columns at our Udayavar Sannidhi in Periyakovil. Adiyan did not think how valuable that was, but Adiyan still went. But constantly, Adiyan used to tell that Adiyan is not capable. Adiyan, is this really needed? Am I showing something off to someone? Or is it only in Adiyan's thoughts that was that a priority? Adiyan was not able to completely correlate all of that, Swami. No knowledge of anything at that time. Even now, Adiyan doesn't know anything. But through these, and after a few weeks, Adiyan lost that kainkaryam opportunity, Swami, due to various reasons. Then slowly, Adiyan started relishing Thiruvaimozhi. Andru Ivulagam Alanda Sevai, Alanda Asaive. That Thiruvaimozhi, Swami, how Alvar relishes Perumal taking the first step, and how Alvar is taking the first step also to relish Emperuman. Adiyan has not understood that that whatever Adiyan gets is an opportunity to do kainkaryam. That was a constant the relevance of the trouble of understanding relevance versus Adiyan's capability was always a conflict, Swami. So Adiyan is trying to come out of that slowly. Not sure whether Adiyan has completely come out. One more, Swami, if the whole family, this Adiyan has heard from all relatives and friends, one person being involved versus the whole family being involved in kainkaryam, it's always a blessing if the whole family is involved. And how initially Adiyan thought that it was a challenge, that all the three of us are involved in our own ways of doing kainkaryams, be it Veda Parayanam from Madhav Swami, or Adiyan is involved in our group, or Swami Dodacharya's organizational kainkaryams. But that gentle invitation and that shared experience, Swami, initially in 2022, it was a mental struggle for all of us to uh, cope up actually with the different timings, because each kainkaryam, as Devri told, invites different presence of ourselves. whether if it is garland, it is a different kind garland stitching together, or a garden experience, or a Veda Parayanam experience, going in the Vidi with Perumal. It all demands certain presence of us, and how we all took it together. 2022 was a big challenge for me, but now I think all of us have started to respect each other's zone, each other's preference of doing kainkaryam. So that was initially a challenge, and now slowly we are able to see how Alvar also brings Makkal Tammayum in all many pasurams, where he um, calls everyone together into devotion. That we are able to slowly see, Swami. Last one is Adiyan has a very small effort called Right to Reflect. And Adiyan's spiritual kainkaryam is another parallel track. Adiyan was always confused how these two tracks, Adiyan was not able to connect. The passion and purpose behind Right to Reflect was also to inculcate some purpose in every human being that Adiyan comes across through coaching and all. But Adiyan has not understood how we can club both together until the last few days. Recently, um, when Adiyan had an experience to see how it can merge. For example, Swami, Adiyan used to conduct journaling workshops, but that was worldly, that was only Laukika. Then Adiyan had a spark that how we can incorporate journaling through Tripave learnings. So something those along those lines, Adiyan was not able to think the last few years. I think that integration, Swami, where uh, Kainkaryam is also that constant renewal that we talk about, where we can integrate our um, worldly worldly thought process with how spiritual kainkaryams can play along. I think that will help Adiyan or even other Adiyas to settle a bit, uh, Swami, because we are always not aligned to thinking in a combined way. It's always a parallel track. So now Adiyan has realized, just to conclude, Swami, that Kainkaryam is not to wait until life becomes ideal. Life is never ideal for anyone for that matter. But to even offer our limitations to Emperman in the spirit of surrender. Like Alvar in Thiruvaimari, Alvar has cried, Alvar has laughed, Alvar has questioned, Alvar has surrendered totally. Adiyan feels we can also perform in that totality, Swami, with all the imperfections that Adiyan has. Emperman is going to relish whatever we have to offer. In that sense, Adiyan thanks Devari Swami and truly Pallandu Swami, even to write this down, to think about this journey was really enlightening, Swami. Adiyan Dhanyosmi, Swami.
Very, very nice sharings. She also had some health issues, and she has overcome those health issues very nicely. And she is in Srirangam along with her family, and engaged in some kainkaryams regularly. A couple of thoughts about this worldly activities and spiritual activities. See, ideally, what should happen is the worldly aspect should wade out. In fact, our acharyas have shown, or Alvar starts with eliminating worldly activities. Is what he is starting. He is saying that I cannot handle any of these worldly activities. Whatever we think, see, for us, what happens is, let's say if we have a happy occasion in our family, then we are happy. If there is a sad occasion, we are sad. But for Alvar, whether it is happy occasion or sad occasion, it's sad only. Whenever he thinks about anything samsara in Prakriti, it is sad only. So that is our goal. We have to get to that stage where we cannot, that parabhakti, parajnanam, parambhakti, all of that, that stage-wise growth is really to improve ourselves. So initial stage is whenever we are with Perumal, we are happy. Whenever we are away from Perumal, we are sad. That is the initial stage. Now, to get to that initial stage, we have to work. So if we cling on to worldly activities, I know you're not talking the same worldly activities, but the moment we interact too much with worldly people, too much with having engagement in worldly aspects, and even we see sometimes Gita for management and these kind of things they promote. Our goal is to bring those who are in management to come to Gita, not to take Gita to managerial aspects. I mean, there are people who do that. We can leave it to them. For us, our goal is to really transition from Laukika and Vaidika or Laukika Bhagavad Gita to as much Bhagavad Gita as possible. In Laukika, we cannot completely exclude. We do have to still take care of our house. We have to purchase some groceries. We have to do all of these involve some worldly activities, worldly interactions. So we cannot avoid completely, but our goal is to slowly make it to the bare essentials. That is the food and shelter. We have to manage. For that, we may have some Laukika interaction, but all our time should be focused on Bhagavad Gita and how we can effectively use our time. And there are so many things to be done. Like you're saying in your Acharya, for example, Acharya Tirumaligai, there may be a lot of initiatives. We may be able to contribute in that. There may be a lot of initiatives in the temple where we are in, whichever town we may be in. So there are so many different activities, so many different aspects in kainkaryam where our participation is required. So our goal should be to orient towards maximum spirituality and minimum materialism. That is where we have to aim. Because this parallel life is always challenging. It's very difficult to, literally it is very difficult to balance also. So that's just my thoughts on how this Laukika, Vaidika thing. So for every one of us, each one of us, we have to try to minimize our materialistic engagement and maximize our spiritualistic engagement. And for that, primary requirement is to make our family spiritual at least, because that will make that process very easy. Okay, thank you. So next we have Selvanarayanan Swami.
Adiyan Swami. Shrimati Ramanujaya Namah, Shrimati Varavaramani. Swami had a hearing to all Bhagavatas here on this very important topic. So Hadian, thinking about this after joining this discussion from the afternoon. So sticking to the topic on the two themes. One is what are the hurdles that can cause us for doing kainkaryams, and what are the solutions to how to face them, or how to get out of those hurdles maybe. So Adian just pointed just 10 points. Just quickly read it. I don't give more explanations to it because the sticking to time constraint. After that, other Bhagavatas can add, and Swami also can correct me if Adian says anything wrong. First, Adian, thinking about hurdles that can cause for the kainkaryams into three categories. The first is that caused by our own attitude, our own mind, our own anarthas, and our own problems we have with our attitude. And second category is that can caused by others. We have very less control over it. And third category is caused by the nature and even the Perumal's own divine will. It can happen on which we don't have any control at all. So again, I would like to discuss only on the first category, because that is something which we can work upon and which we can change, and where we can take guidance. So the first one is, so we think that we are not perfect enough to render kainkaryam. So this is one of the most common obstacle Adian has faced personally and also seen from others. We say that, Swami, I don't know this. When once I get to know this fully, I will do. Swami, I think I will do mistakes. Swami, I think I recently only taken Pancha Samskaram, so I think I have to wait for some more time. Like that, there are many things. But in reality, we can never become perfect. I mean, we are not Bhagavan to become perfect. I mean, we don't want to become perfect also. But whatever level we are, there is always an opportunity to render Kainkaryam. So we know the story of Hanuman and squirrel. Everybody has their own capacity. I may not able to give Upanishams, but I can bring people to Upanishams. I may not able to organize yatras, but I can do a poster and design and promote it. So at every level there is a Kainkaryam. So we should not complain that Swami, I'm not perfect enough to do Kainkaryam, but rather we should seek whatever we can do. And second point is, we think that we need to be materially secure first, then only we will go for spiritual. Swami, I have to settle materially, job is there, education is there, our family is there, children is there, so once I will settle everything nicely, once everything is done, then I will look into, I will do very nicely, Swami. After that, everything perfectly, everything full time I will give, like that. But in reality, we never settle, because this world is not meant to settle. This is like temporary residence for us. So if we plan to settle here, then we will remain frustrated. So this is not something to settle. So that is another obstacle, to think that material settlement, then spiritual activities. Many have already talked about it. And third is that we have our own reservations to do Kainkaryam. Swami, only this type of Kainkaryam I will do. Only online, Swami. Only book translations, Swami. Or only this place. Only at Srirangam I will do, Swami. I like that place. Or only mornings, Swami. Or only afternoons, Swami. Or only on winters. Only on summers. Like we have our own reservations. Of course, in the beginning it's fine, but we should know how to come out of those reservations and be giving complaints. Swami, you gave me one Kainkarya, but he is not cooperating with me. Swami, you told me to use this particular tool, but it's not working. Swami, this place is very hard. That is very cold. There is no prasadam. So our own reservations will make a big hurdle in our Kainkaryams. And the fourth one is, we seek identity and recognition when we do Kainkaryam. I have to be praised. I need to be recognized. People should say that, okay, this person is best in this, and my name should be there, and my people should discuss about me. So we think so self-obsessed and self-centered even when rendering Kainkaryams, and this becomes great obstacle, because we don't get all these things and we become frustrated and we left Kainkaryam and blaming people. And the fifth one is that we lack faith in Bhagavan words. Right, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yajana Paryupasate, Tesam Nityabhyuktanam Yogakshama Ohamyam. So he gave the promise, but we don't have faith. We don't have faith on Purvacharya's words. We think, what if he forgets his promise? What if that won't valid to me? What if he breaks his promise? He want to break his promises. And what if this is not true? What is Bhagavad Gita is just an exaggeration? So we don't have faith on Bhagavan's words. So we cannot go forward for Kainkaryams, because I mean, he says that he will take care of us, but what if that is not true? Then I am responsible for my life, like that. So that is another obstacle. And the sixth one is that we seek material results and comforts while doing Kainkaryams. We ask, Swami, can I add this my Kainkaryam experience in my resume to get a job? Because I have this thought process when doing. Or can I share my profits in Kainkaryam? Swami, you are selling books, right? So I will also join, and maybe I can get some share. Nothing wrong, but that should not be our only beginning point. Swami, can I get some fame and name while doing this, so that I can use it later in my own business? Swami, can I get contacts from our community where I can sell my product? So we try to attach Kainkaryams with some material results and comforts. So that is becomes very great obstacle, because that won't happen in reality. And the seventh point is that we think Kainkaryam is not needed at all. I also encountered people with this attitude. Swami, there are so many Vaishnavas. And I mean, go to Srirangam, so many Vaishnavas are there. So many people are doing many things. I am a very small person. What I can do? I think they will do. Perumal will arrange everything. Perumal Tiruvullam. So Perumal wants, it happens. Perumal doesn't want, it won't happen. So just chill out. So, but these people take Kainkaryams. They go there and take prasadam. They go take Kainkaryam from others. But they won't. When it comes to doing, we complain about already many people are there. But the question is that why can't we part of Perumal plan? Of course, anything happens under his own will, but why should I become a part of his will? Why should I ask him to give some kainkaryams? And eighth point is that we are not ready to face unpredictability and uncertainty in our results. Sarthi Swami already told, we are not, people fear unpredictability and uncertainties. What if I fail? Okay, I am arranging an yatra. What if it fails? What people will say? What if I get chastised? What if I am criticized? What if I do mistakes? What if I don't get expected results? We have a lot of we want everything to happen in certain way, and we fear the unpredictability, and we think, okay, then I won't do kainkaryam. I'm let it be. I won't take this step. Let someone else do. So this is the eighth obstacle. So the ninth one is we lack proper knowledge about kainkaryam to get inspired. Does really Purvacharyas talked about kainkaryam? I don't think so. Like people don't have enough enough wisdom about importance of kainkaryam. Is it really needed? And some people say like, okay, ours is prapatti, no, everything is Perumal will take care. He will do everything for us. So why to toil so much? Why to do sleep? People do Sripadam so much stress on the body. People stress so much to memorize Pasurams. I mean, if Perumal wants to me, Vaikuntham he will take. So I think Kainkaryam is something overhyped. Is it really needed? Like that, people might question. This is due to lack of knowledge, proper wisdom. And the tenth one, the last one is that it's a little genuine one, that we don't have opportunity to render Kainkaryam, in the sense that we may not find opportunities very easily due to the position we are in, the context we have so far, and we lack guidance to contribute effectively. So these are the 10 things Adian thought of, 10 reasons where becomes hurdles in our Kainkaryam opportunities and rendering Kainkaryam. And just there are 5 solutions Adian was thought of. Maybe there are more or they are overlapping. The first one is like to overcome these hurdles. The first thing to do is regular hearing and reading Purvacharya Grandhams and contemplating on them. So through that, we will understand their intentions, their life, their teachings, and contemplation is very important to reflecting those teachings in our own life. So this will help a lot to understand their mood, their mission, and their attitude, their life, and so that we can also do some service to them out of love, not out of duty, but out of love. Okay, they are so great. I will do something for them. And second one is regularly associating with people who are rendering sincere kainkaryams. So Adian feels this is very important. By inspiration, just like when we inspire with someone who go to movies, then he will inspire me to watch movies. If I associate with the people who go to cricket, and he will inspire me with cricket. Similarly, if I associate with the people who do kainkaryams regularly, nicely, very effectively, with sincerely, then that association will help me also take up some kainkaryams at the beginning, and slowly we will improve. And third thing we can do is that be consistent in seeking opportunities, seeking kainkaryam opportunities. I mean, opportunities won't come knocking our doors always. So we should go and approach and ask for a kainkaryam. Swami, can you do anything for now? Swami, I have these skills. Can I improve this particular thing? Can I improve this particular tool? Can I improve particular design? So we should consistently seek opportunities, not like some mood swings. Okay, 1 week we are so inspired and want to do, and we give commitments. Swami, I will do this, I will do that, and next week we are so down and we never touch any kainkaryams. Not like that. Be consistent in seeking kainkaryam opportunities very consciously. And the fourth one is upskill and learn tools, because nowadays a lot of things needed. I mean, for translating you need certain tools, or by organizing a class you need to learn certain tools. To design things you need certain tools. Even material to make a garland you need a skill. So we should try to upskill ourselves and learn necessary tools, so that we will render kainkaryams in best possible way. So we should not take advantage of Perumal's compassion or Bhagavata's compassion. Swami, I will do somehow manage this. Do something, I will do something. Okay, cook for prasadam, I will do something here and there. No, not like that, because we should give our best results also. I mean, should try our best possible way. For that, we should upskill and learn tools to do kainkaryam. And the last one and very important one is seek feedback and guidance from senior Vaishnavas to correct our attitude and improve ourselves. I think this is very important. Regularly asking Swami, I mean, Adian is saying all this, but I'm not telling I'm doing all this, just a thought process. So I am lacking in many of these things, but yeah, this is one by asking feedback and guidance from seniors. For me, this is where I am, this is what I am doing, this is the problems I'm facing. Please help me how can I improve, what should I do in these situations. By doing this, we can correct our attitude. So ultimately, it's an attitude problem. Everything else is a secondary. So by doing this, we can also get kainkaryam opportunities and render kainkaryam. So Adian just made these 10 hurdles and 5 solutions for me. If I cross the time limit, please forgive me. I'll try my best. I tried my best to speak fast and complete, Swami. If the Devrier has any corrections or any points to add, kindly. Adian.
Very nicely presented and very beautiful insights. First, one thing is our next session for Varavaramani Vidyalayam, Shri Varavaramani Vidyalayam classes there. That should start any moment now. So I will conclude quickly, and we'll continue this discussion some other time. Many points you mentioned are very, very valid and very valuable. Foremost in all of this is, as I see, is we have to know how to work with others, both elders or seniors, as well as those who are at par with us in knowledge level or kainkaryam level, or those who are newcomers. In all of these cases, we have to be able to adapt and work with everyone. So that is very, very important in this. And also, another most important aspect is kainkaryams need to be requested and acquired. We just can't sit idle and expect everything will come to our plate, and we'll be given so many kainkaryams that we'll be overwhelmed what to do, which kainkaryam to choose. That will not happen. We have to ask those who are engaged in kainkaryams already, discuss with them and see how we can use our skills, our abilities, our talents in kainkaryam. So that should be question, and on top of all of this, guidance is very, very important. We have to work with seniors and see how we can contribute in various kainkaryams which are ongoing and which are needing help. So all of these, again, you have touched upon in various aspects. So it's very, very comprehensive and very insightful points. So thank you. We do all of us have to remember to stick to the 3 minutes limit, because if we speak more than the allocated time, it will affect others. Luckily, we didn't have 2 participants today, so we were able to manage time. Otherwise, other participants would have lost their opportunities. So please ensure that you stick to that, everyone stick to 3 to 4 minutes maximum. So let's conclude this session today. We had a very good, useful, insightful presentations from all of the Bhagavatas. I encourage everyone to participate in subsequent sessions like this and share different thoughts. Thank you all. Alvare Perumanar Jiyar Thirudigalai Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudigalai Sharanam.
Yeah.
Adian Ramanujasa.
Adian Srinivas, Dhanjos.
Adian Ramanujasa.